This is Nitro Game Injection.
Whoa, buddies! It's Nitro Game Injection time! I'm your host, Kyle JCRB, and I hope you're ready to rock because, well, I mean, you just did. If you weren't paying attention, you just got your face melted. That was GaMetal starting us off right there from his brand new album release, Side Quests Volume 3. That was an arrangement of Fury Sparks from Tales of Vesperia. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Such a good song. Such a good song. The original is amazing, and GaMetal just takes it to another level, as he always does. I'll be with you for the next couple of hours, bringing you some excellent video game tunage in the form of remixes, arrangements, covers, and all of that fun stuff. I have quite a bit on tap today, but I have something a little bit different about halfway through the show, changing things up a little bit, reintroducing something that NGI has not had much of in recent years, and that is an interview. I got to sit down with Nick Marinelli of Video Games in Concert, and formerly the guy of MAGFest. He had the title of Mr. MAGFest for a time. I mean, not officially, but because to me, Inverse Phase will always be Mr. MAGFest. But anyway, truly, Nick Marinelli. He was the guy behind MAGFest for a while. So we're gonna talk about that, and we also talk about his concert booking initiative, video games in concert, and all sorts of other fun stuff. So it's about a half an hour interview that'll be coming up a little bit later. But in the meantime, why not keep the rockin' music going? And do some fun stuff from racing games. 'Cause I love racing games. But you guys know that. I'm one of those weirdos. To get us started off, we've got something from the Runaway 4. This is from their new EP called The Fast. I say EP because it's 5 tracks, but most of them are very long. And these are all the songs on it have to do with speed. Games that have to do with speed. Not necessarily racing games, but generally games with speed. So, you got Pepsi Man on there. They got a medley of various Sonic tunes. They got bike and motorcycle themes from various games like Pokemon Red and Blue and Excite Bike, Super Hang-On, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VII, Earthbound, Full Throttle. It's just a giant medley of like bike-related songs. And then, to close it out, they have a giant medley of Mario Kart 64. So be sure to go check this album out. It's The Runaway 4, The Fast. And I believe you can just find it over at the runaway4.bandcamp.com. I do recommend it. It's great fun. I mean, it helps that it's all, games and music that I love. So we're going to go and get started off with something from The Fast. This one's called American Dream Chaser. This is a medley of F-Zero X, Cruis'n USA, and Mickey's Speedway USA. A trifecta of N64 racing games. Okay, not really. Cruis'n USA might be a little dubious on that one. It's a good game. I like Cruis'n USA personally. But I recognize that there are better racing games on the N64, which, if you're a fan of racing games, the N64 is like the console. Well, that and the PS2. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get into it right here on Nitro Game Injection. Funky jams. Right there in the background right now. That right there you just heard was Chernabogue and Katy Scary from the band Claymore. That was an empty tome from Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. There's a Castlevania game that doesn't get a whole heck of a lot of love when it comes to remixes and stuff. It's like I don't hear much love for the music of Order of Ecclesia. I hear a lot of love for the game itself, though, as a very good Metroidvania Castlevania game. And I want to play it, but I have not yet. I have not. Maybe I will stream it someday. I'm sure it's pretty long because, you know, it's a Metroidvania, so those are always really long. So I'll probably do that. But hey, you know, I played Bloodstained. I played Bloodstained before I played like, God, I haven't even like gotten a eighth of the way through Symphony of the Night. I should probably play that one eventually. I'm terrible. Before that, we had Gab Ocarina 96 with Coco Mountain or Choco Mountain or Choco Mountain. I don't know. It's all the things. It's everything. Maybe it's all pronunciations and more. That was from Mario Kart 64, of course. It's classic. It's a classic tune. Very, very chocolatey. That's what that song is definitely visually reminding you of when you listen to it. Of course. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I do know is Gab Ocarina 96 rocked that one. I like that one a lot. And then, before that, starting us off with the racing game love, we had the Runaway 4 from their album The Fast. That was American Dream Chaser. And you heard some F-Zero X in there, mainly F-Zero X. A little bit of a break into Cruis'n USA, and then Mickey's Speedway USA. And I think I need more Cruis'n USA remixes in my life. We need a bluegrass band. They need to cover Bluegrass Boogie. Unfortunately, I think the hit points have broken up because they could have been the ones who did Bluegrass Boogie from Cruis'n USA. But sadly, they may not. Maybe someone else will. I still want that. Or, what is it? Is it Cruis'n Shuffle? Is that what the song is called? It might be Cruis'n Shuffle. Or no, Redline Shuffle. That's it. Yeah, Redline Shuffle. I think Cruis'n Shuffle is a different song. But Redline Shuffle from Cruis'n USA. Yeah, I need to cover that too. Somebody get on that. That's how this works, right? I demand covers. And you do them. Willingly. Just kidding, you don't. Maybe if I did a Cruis'n USA album, nobody would join that. Who would join that? Who would listen to that? Me. Guess that's all that matters, huh? Anyway, let's get into something from Gran Turismo 2. A remix of the song you're hearing in the background right now, actually. This one was a discovery sent to me by, well, I guess shared with the folks in the KNGI Discord, which you could join if you are interested at kngi.org/discord. And that one was shared by Led Mirror Knight. He posted that one in there, and I'm like, wow, okay, I didn't even know this existed. It's mine now. I have it, and I'm going to play it. This is Miguel Kriston with West City from Gran Turismo 2. Oh, yes. I like this one a lot because, I mean, this friggin' GT2 menu music's, so good. So good. All right, let's go ahead and get into it right here on NGI. Oh boy. Yes, that right there was the Consouls with Prehistoric Turtlesaurus from Turtles in Time. I'm pretty sure I played that one before, but I don't care. I'm playing it again. That one's featured on Consouls 3-2, a compilation of various songs that they put out. They have like 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4. You know, it's like a Mario level numbering, but it's for their EPs, and that's 3-2. So great stuff there from the Consouls. Before that, we have Magical Sound Shower with a Rubicon title music. That one is from KWED, friends over at remix.kwed.org, your source for Commodore 64 arrangements. And I don't know Rubicon. I don't know it. I'm not familiar with it at all. But Magical Sound Shower 64 has been on a tear recently, releasing putting out some really good stuff. So had some vocoded vocals in there, and a little bit of a, kind of a vaguely a Daft Punk feel to it. Vaguely. Just barely, maybe. So, very nice stuff there. And then Miguel Kriston starting us off there with West City from Gran Turismo 2. A new discovery thanks to Lead Mirror Night over on the Discord. Very, very awesome. Always happy to see Gran Turismo music get some more love, especially songs that aren't necessarily Moon Over the Castle. Don't get me wrong, Moon Over the Castle, still love it. Still one of the best songs ever written. But, there's other good music in Gran Turismo also. So, somebody remix it. Somebody remix more of it. More! I demand more! Anyway, before we get on into our next music block, I gotta give a shout out to the Mix Challenge. Mix Challenge just kicked off for this month, and you can head on over to mixjazzchallenge.com and check it out. You can get involved over there and get involved in the songwriting competition or the Mix Challenge competition, and that will you can use that to expand your skills of mixing or songwriting. And it's a big community over there. You can get lots of feedback on your music. You can get you can win some fabulous prizes as well. So, right now, the current ongoing theme for Mix Challenge for this month is 1970s pop rock. Sure, why not? You will get featured on YouTube and other streaming services as a winner of that one, and you have until the 21st of April 2021 to enter. So if you can mix a 1970s pop rock song, the song is provided for you, and you just have to mix it. So you do that, and that's cool. And then the songwriting competition, that one's the theme for that is The Place That Sends You Mad, and the genre is jazz fusion. Hey, I mean, jazz fusion, that is like, I don't know, it's more like a relaxing thing to me, but okay. And that was the deadline for that is the 24th of April 2021. So, and that one's inspired by a shitload of paperwork and the bureaucracy house scene from the 12 Tasks of Asterix from 1976. I don't know the 12 Tasks of Asterix. I'm familiar with Asterix though. So, there you go if you're looking for the inspiration for the theme of that one. So be sure to go check that out, mix-challenge.com. You can head on over there and join a huge community of musicians and of folks with a lot of talent and experience, and just participate over there and have a good time. It's just a nice competition going on. Let's go ahead and get into some more metal. I like metal. Do you like metal? I like metal. Here's Connor Engstrom. This one is from Connor's album Speedruns. This one is a mashup of tunes from Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario World. It's called Mario's Doom. Don't go away. This is a Nitro Game Injection.
You're listening to Nitro Game Injection.
That right there was a really damn good version of Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 5. Hot dang. Some metalcore AF right there from Scar. I need to listen to more from Scar. I think that's the first time I'm playing anything from Scar on this show. A relatively recent discovery for me. I need to delve deeper. I must go deeper. Gotta go deeper. Great stuff there. Awesome. Before that, we had Schneider Souza with another track that was also awesome. That was The Journey to the Darkest Depths from Chrono Trigger. This is an Overclocked remix track, ocremix.org. You want to go check that one out and all the other stuff over there as well. You want to go grab the download for free. That's what OCR is all about. So it's some dark metal of a track that maybe you weren't expecting. And then Connor Engstrom started us off there with Mario's Doom from Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario World. Had a little bit of a Spaghetti Mario, and then because Mario's he likes the spaghetti, but also we had some very very metal, very hard little bit of Super Mario Brothers Castle theme there, because of course we did. Very nice stuff. Well, we are going to take a break from the music for a little bit here, and we are going to get into my pre-recorded interview with Nick Marinelli of Video Games in Concert and formerly of MAGFest, aka Nick the Newbie. If you're someone who's been in the community for a long time, if you're on the Shiz or on, I think even OCR, he was there for a little bit, and he's kind of been everywhere, It's just it's just like just like me and just like a whole bunch of other people. We've all been everywhere. So we sat down and talked for about half an hour about video game music, about MAGFest, about Video Games in Concert, and we had some fun. We had a great discussion. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my interview with Nick Marinelli, aka Nick the Newbie, right here on Nitro Game Injection. I'd like to welcome a very special guest to the program today. You know him as Nick the Newbie, or you might know him as Nick Marinelli. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Thanks for having me on, Kyle. This is really cool.
Yeah, it is. We're me and you were kind of like we're similar in a way. We like to do a lot of the background work, a lot of the grunt work for these musicians that we love so much.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out that like I'm not a musician, so I should stop trying to be a rock star and just focus on the spreadsheets so that I can enable the musicians to do their thing better and support them. And,
right.
I really enjoy that.
Right. You're right. Yeah. For those who may not know who you are, can you give a little bit of an introduction?
Sure. You may know me as the former executive director of MAGFest, the Music and Gaming Festival. I was with the organization for a total of 15 years. Worked full time for them for 5 years. Half of that I was the number 2, and then the other half I was the number 1, the executive director. Since then, I left MAGFest in 2019 to start my own business, and I just opened up a video game music band booking agency called Video Games in Concert. And other than that, I've been doing my own event management consulting, because when you're at the top of the food chain in MAGFest, you start to miss the on the ground operations. So I wanted to get a chance to help other events doing what I do best, rather than just kind of sitting in an office all day.
Yeah, I understand that. How did you get involved in the video game music community?
Oh, I mean, I've loved video game music ever since I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
And it's tough to find other kids that were in video game music in my hometown. So naturally, I ended up on IRC in the VGmusic.com IRC room under the screen name Big Nick. And the dick joke did not occur to me at the time. From there, I remember reading about the mini bosses in the EGM, and then finding out about OC Remix and VG Mix. I found out about MAGFest in at a promo table at an anime convention, and then I eventually finally got to go in 2006. January 2006, and then the rest is history.
Yeah. Man, your trajectory is similar to mine. My first discovery was OCR, but then, as you explore, you start learning more and more about all these different places to check out and all the different happenings going on, and it was like 2003-ish for me, so things have definitely changed a lot since then, though, for sure.
Yeah, it's cool how decentralized it is now. Like,
right.
It used to be like the only place in the world was VG Music. It was just all midis.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came to arrangements, the only place was OC Remix, and the only way you could get in is if the judges let you in. Which at the time when it started made sense, because there was people that were just taking midis and throwing I don't know the technical term, VSTs, sound fonts on them.
Right. They weren't doing any actual arranging. They were just, taking midis and throwing instruments on them. And
yeah.
And
then there were the holy wars between OCR and VG Mix. And now anyone can put up a cover anywhere, and YouTube, Bandcamp, Spotify, iTunes, it's everywhere, and it's great.
Yeah, the ubiquitousness of video game music arrangements has really been a lot of fun to watch, and people coming across these things that they may not have initially even thought of a video game music remix or cover before. But then they happen upon it while listening to Spotify, and the algorithm happens to throw them some video game song, and they're like, whoa, what?
And sometimes you're watching Colbert, and then when they're doing playing out to a commercial or something, Jean Baptiste on the piano is playing Green Hill Zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's become not just a thing in our community anymore, or in any of the communities that we followed. It's a big thing now, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, I like to think of it as this century's version of folk music.
Kinda, yeah.
These melodies that everyone knows, and they're all able to sing it. They're not sure where or how they heard it. They just know they've heard it at some point, and then they can just go making their own interpretation of it in whatever style best suits them as a person and as a musician.
Right, yeah. It's just a really cool thing how that's become kind of ubiquitous in our culture. How did you get involved with MAGFest, and what were some of your roles that you worked on while working there? Sure.
So I first found out about it at I think it was an Anime USA. It was a Virginia-based anime convention in, I want to say, 2003-4, and I don't remember specifically who it was, but logic dictates that it must have been Brendan Becker, who was the second owner of MAGFest. A guy, Joe Yaman, ran it the first year. Then he was like, I'm done with that shit.
It's a hard thing to run.
Yeah, in retrospect, he made the right move. Yeah, and so I saw Brendan there at the promo table, and he said the mini bosses, and my eyes lit up. But I was a poor college student at the time, so I couldn't make my way down from Baltimore down to Central Virginia. And that was around MAGFest 2, I guess, was the one that was coming up. So then the following year, I was hanging out in the VG-Mex IRC rooms, and they were talking about MAGFest 3. I wanted to make it, but I had another engagement, so I couldn't go that year. So by the time MAGFest 4 rolled around, I was so excited to go to it that I was handing out flyers for a festival I'd never been to before. Just trying to get kids from school to come down with me. And one guy came down with me, and we were promised a hotel room from a friend that we did not get.
Oh.
And we slept in the video room. Oh, but yeah, so after that, I would go down to Brendan's house, help sort and test systems, and I eventually became the promo guy. That was my thing: promo, PR, public relations, communications. I was kind of the if you ever emailed MAGFest, I was the first line of defense there. Which is great, because if you ever emailed Brendan, there's just a black hole. You never know if you get a message. I love you, Brendan, if you're listening.
I had him on the show. I've had him on the show a couple times a few years ago. He's a fascinating guy.
He is, and like his concerts, as the name Inverse Phase, are like almost like college lectures, because you're not just listening to music, you're getting like a whole lesson on how sound chips work.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very into that, and it's very fun.
Yeah. So yeah, after being the promo guy, I just kind of became more and more of the problem solver. They just threw different things at me, and I would take care of them. Eventually, I got put on the board of directors, around like 2012-ish, and then eventually it had grown to the point where they both couldn't operate without me in a full-time capacity, and were able to afford me in a full-time capacity, because I was a software engineer at the time, so I took a bit of a pay cut to go work for MAGFest.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah,
but it's kind of a passion project, and half a passion project in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, I really have to consider myself fortunate for what I've been able to do at MAGFest, and not just like me, like the incredible teams that I've gotten to work with, and what we've been able to build together. And like I don't know if you saw, I posted this thing on Facebook the other day about that Sonic Adventure concert that happened in 2018.
Yeah. Oh, yep, I did see that. Yeah, that was a big one. I really wish I could have been there for that one, because I'm a huge fan of like Jun Senoway and this Sonic Adventure music and all that stuff. I'm so sad I missed out on it, but it was really cool to at least be able to see it, after the fact.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry you couldn't make it, and not to rub it in, but to
that's okay.
complete the story. Like, it was like a dream come true for me, because I would in high school trying to get people to listen to that damn soundtrack that I downloaded and burned to a CDR. No one cared.
Same here.
And then I would fantasize about seeing that live, but like I never thought that I would actually get to see it live. And it never even occurred to me that I would be the one to make it happen. And I say I, but again, I worked with an amazing team of people,
right,
to make that happen. So we really made an amazing thing together, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, like things that they, I don't know if you were necessarily responsible for it, but things like Machine Supremacy showing up there, and
That was Big Matt Stanford. I think he was the one that made that connection.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing okay. I haven't talked to him in a while. He ran the music department around like, I don't know the exact years, but around like 2010 to 2014 ish, 2015 ish.
And then there was the Earthbound Papas with Nobuo Uematsu, which was kind of just mind blowing, and that was the one year I happened to go, and that was just really cool. That got to be my
one was
first
me.
mag experience, was Nobuo himself showing up in America.
That one was me. I can take a bit of credit for that one.
Okay, good.
Because Distant Worlds had come through Baltimore, and I emailed. I guess I emailed the Baltimore Orchestra, the BSO, to say, hey, can I set up a MAGFest table, hand out flyers? They're like, sure, no problem. And while I was there, I guess it was like the technical director, Chris Shaberla, for Distant Worlds, came out and said hi to me, and so I had to meet him, and then I went to I mentioned to him how I'd love to have Uematsu as a guest at MAGFest, and then I went to another Distant Worlds show, and because I knew Chris, I got to go back and meet Uematsu, and much to my surprise, like, not only did he want to play at MAGFest, not did he want to appear as a guest, he wanted his band to play. And Dom was there with me, the one of the other executive directors of MAGFest, and we were just like, wait, he wants to bring his entire band from Japan? And like, we opened up our wallets, the moth flew out, and we're like, fuck it, we're doing it anyway. we'll find the money. And yeah, like, MAGFest doubled in size that year that he came. One, I'm sure he brought in the numbers, but also we had changed venues.
Yeah.
From a hotel that we were well beyond capacity at, and then moved into the current MAGFest venue, the Gaylord National, right next to DC.
Yeah, which is now also over capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most recent ones, for sure. It exploded. Because I remember that first year was only like half of the hotel was MAGFest.
If that, like a quarter.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I'd heard something about it being like maybe half was dedicated to MAGFest. But yeah, there was multiple other things going on that weekend, and I just thought that was kind of funny. But now it's like, no, there's nothing else going on.
Yeah, it was like looking at that hotel when we first moved into it. It's like, when the Blues Brothers walk into the Lake Winnipesaukee concert hall.
Right, yep.
Like, this place is a cavern. We're never going to fill this place. And then, fast forward, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years. It wasn't even that long.
No, it wasn't.
The Tetris we had to play to make sure that everyone got the space that they wanted. It was just like a battle royale of departments duking it out, because they each want the spot that's optimal for them. And tabletop department, the best kind of cancer you could get, just kept growing and growing, enveloping everything it came across.
Yeah, it just kind of exploded from there. It's great, but man, I can only imagine how much of how anxiety inducing it is to have it just grow that fast and then try and keep up with that. It's
yeah, I mean,
it's
like
tough.
not to get a little too real here, but like MAGFest, when I first started working full time for them, it was incredibly stressful, and like I was not prepared for that, and I was not handling it well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to go get myself some professional help, and God bless therapy. Like, it really helped me handle the pressure of working in this kind of environment where I had 1,500 volunteers kind of depending on my word, and make sure that like I set reasonable expectations for myself, and then assure myself that I was doing my best, and that's really all I can reasonably expect from myself. And then being a best role model I can to everyone else on MAGFest staff, to let them know, like, hey, you don't have to be perfect. It's okay if you fail. Things will move on. We'll be here to support you, and making an effort to really prevent burnout across the board, because it's a real convention culture thing to brag about how little sleep you got. over the course of the weekend when you're working.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
And when you're in your 20s, it's I guess it's energizing. But when you start to think about what's important in life, with work-life balance and personal relationships, professional relationships, and keeping that all in balance. Just keeping sight of what's important and knowing that not sleeping for 3 days to keep a convention going isn't the most important thing in life. But not only that, but like from a practical standpoint, you're actually less productive if you don't get rest.
Exactly.
And so
yeah,
you're actually hurting those around you by trying to show off your machismo by working so quote unquote hard.
Right. Yeah. Definitely, I've been involved in that culture with multiple jobs, so it's not a good way to be productive or to actually put out good work. It can be exhausting eventually, and it's just it's tough.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, I think we might be starting to learn to move in that direction as a society, but that's a different podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Tell me a little bit about your new initiative, Video Games in Concert. I say new, you've been doing this for a couple of years now, but...
a year and a half-ish. It debuted January 2020, which was a fantastic time to unveil a live music booking agency.
This is kind of where I was going to ask you, like, how do you navigate the pandemic with a live music booking program that you can't really do anything
difficulty.
with? Yes, I can imagine.
And this is a market I'm new to myself. Like I know so many video game cover bands. I know so many people in the convention world, but the purpose of Video Games in Concert, VGIC, is to break video game bands out of this convention circuit and into these into mainline festivals and venues, i.e., places that pay well, and not this this anime convention $300 a gig circuit, which, like, God bless anime conventions and MAGFest, like that's all they can afford, and it's this beautiful community aspect. But these are working professional musicians that deserve to be paid like working professional musicians, and so now we're I'm no longer talking to just enthusiasts like me that are just trying to run a convention. I'm talking to people that manage major concert venues. So that's learning a whole new vocabulary, and going to all these different booking conferences to get sales leads. And yeah, I mean, like, we were starting to get traction after we had attended our first booking conference last January. And it was funny, like, no one could have seen it coming, but all of the Chinese venues that were coming up to our table to ask us about it, they were saying, well, we might have to shut down for a bit. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, once you're open back up, we can. God.
Oh boy, yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, in the meanwhile, been trying my best to continue making relationships, making inroads, trying to meet the people in this booking community, and make my name known, even if there's no business to be had yet. And the VGIC is me and two guys from the band Consoul, Soul, not to be confused with the Consouls from Australia. Consoul is a New York-based video game big band.
It's funny, I have to make that distinction all the time on the show. Yeah. It's like, not quite the same. They're not the same. There's also there's a few other ones that are very similar. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of them.
It's the wrong hemisphere on both axes.
Yeah.
Danny Flam and Gal Gershovsky. And your listeners may be familiar with Console did a Cuphead big band set with what the hell is the Cuphead guy's name? Christopher Madigan.
There we go. Yeah, Christopher Madigan. Yep.
Yeah, Christopher Madigan came and played with them, and that was a hell of a show. 15-piece big band. Ironically, I had Danny and I started talking about this when I had contacted him asking for a retweet when I was doing marketing for the 8-bit big band for a show that they were doing, it's like the Jets and the Sharks of the video game big band world. But yeah, it's been rough, but we're keeping at it and trying to get things back up. We just held a virtual showcase, which is basically just a quick demo of all of our bands, and I did a live stream, and I sent it out to all of the they call them presenters, like anybody that's at a venue or a festival or like at a college, college like recreation, SGA or whatever. Like they book talent, inviting presenters to come and see it. So it's a live stream where like I went up there. I'm like, hey, here's Console, showed off that. Here's Master Sword, show off that. Here's Mega Ran, show off that.
Yeah. You've got a lot of really awesome names involved in VGIC.
We tried to get the best of most of every genre we could. Between metal, hip hop, bluegrass.
Well, in some cases, they're like the only representation of the genre
right.
Yeah.
Kind of unique, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, we wanted to be able to show that video game music can not only can it reach any audience, but it can join multiple disjoint audiences.
Right.
I am not someone who typically listens to hip hop, but I love Mega Ran shows, and the faces that I see at Mega Ran shows is the most diverse set of faces I've ever seen at any show, and all of them are just smiling and having a great time. And a Mega Ran show, it's the energy that comes out of that is not to be cliche, but it's electrifying. You just walk out of a Mega Ran show feeling great.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love that guy.
And this 8-bit big band show that I was doing marketing for, the producers of the show, who are these old jazz fans, they produced it because they had seen the band play earlier, and they were just amazed at the fact that you had these 60, 70-year-old people and elementary schoolers all dancing to the same music, and you won't see that anywhere else.
Right.
It's an amazing way of bridging generational gap, cultural gaps, socioeconomic gaps. Everyone knows this music, and even if you don't know the music, the people that play it just play it so well that it's fun to listen to.
Right. Yeah. It's a unifying aspect, I would say, like something that's brings everybody together in a way that is kind of amazing.
And apologies if I'm kind of like stating the obvious to your audience.
That's okay. I do that all the time.
I know your listeners are all very in tune with the VGM community. It's like my brain right now is like, if I'm talking about VGIC, I'm like thinking of it in terms of like, okay, how do I pitch this to normal people?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's super cool though. I really wish that this whole pandemic thing hadn't been like cropped up right when you started this initiative, because it's like, this was just it's so cool to be able to like be able to reach out and have these musicians be able to branch to different venues rather than just outside, or rather than just like you mentioned, the convention circuit. It's just
we had one booking that fell through. It was one of the bands was going to play at like a gazebo at a like a Father's Day event in Northern Virginia, near DC, and like that would be a great family event. We'll see if we can get that back up and running. It's like really on the fence, because what Father's Day is like mid-June.
Yeah.
So that's right there on the line of whether or not they're going to do
it. yeah, for sure. It's been a heck of a year for live performances and stuff, but I hope you stick through it and that you come out the other side, and we all come out the other side, and we're able to check out all of your upcoming events and everything that's going on, because that's just really cool to have like somebody out there who's advocating for video game musicians to go beyond just conventions and gaming events, and to actually break out into the wider world of live music performance. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And like the artists, they're the talent.
Sure.
Like they're the ones doing the hard work. I'm just trying to tell people about them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what I do here on this show on a much smaller level, but I definitely empathize with that, and I understand that completely. I just I love this music, and I love the people who make it, and I just want more people to hear it and love it. So yeah, I like sharing it. So
big mood.
Yep, for sure. So, where can the people find you and find out more about video games in concert?
The Video Games in Concert website is gamemusic.rocks.
That's an awesome URL, by the way.
I was proud of that one. And you can just get me at Nick at gamemusic.rocks.
Awesome. All right, Nick, thank you very much for coming on the show today. And I appreciate having you here and talking a bit about the world of video game music arrangements and all the stuff we love.
Thanks for having me, Kyle.
Thank you. Big thanks to Nick Marinelli, aka Nick the Newbie, for coming on and talking with me for a little while there. Be sure to go check out his new-ish company. It's not really new, but still kind of building things up, and after the setback of last year, still working though. Still working. Video game. That's Game Music Rocks. GameMusic.rocks is the URL, which is a fantastic URL. That's video games in concert. So, very nice. Big thanks to Nick for coming on board. And let's go ahead and get back into some tunage. This one right here is another one from remix.kwed.org. Commodore 64 arrangements yet again. This time from the game Tomcat. This one's called Phrygian. This one's called Galata Remix Remastered. Don't go away. You're still listening to Nitro Game Injection.
KNGI.
That right there was a 40 Nicks with Hornet Dance, the SNES Mega Man and Bass style remix, originally from Mega Man 9. The song works really well as in the style of Super Nintendo Mega Man games, because Mega Man and Bass and Mega Man 7 have a very similar sound musically, and I enjoyed that one. It works very nicely. Very, very cool. Very well done there on 40 Nick's part. Before that, we had Note Block, the track from a Mario Party called Play a Minigame. Play a Minigame! You should. If you're playing Mario Party, I guess that's what you do. That's like part of the whole point of playing Mario Party is to play a minigame. So there you go. Play a minigame. And then starting us off there was Phrygian with Tomcat Galata Remix Remastered. Just for Purvis. I always play the Commodore 64 remixes for Purvis, because he doesn't know what Commodore 64 music is, apparently. So I do it to torture him because I appreciate him. So, and that's how I show my appreciation, by ruining his life. Thank you, Purvis. All right. Well, we are coming up to the end of the show. We're not quite there yet, but we're going to be getting to... it's going to be about the average length of time, I'm sure. Just about. Roughly, here and there, so... No need to stick around for super long afterwards. But I do have something that I want to get to before we end the show. I have to get to this week's featured album, which is a brand new release, and you just heard you heard a track off of it at the beginning of the show. But now I'm going to play more because I freaking love this album. And this is GaMetal with Side Quests Volume 3. Side Quests, the Side Quests series from GaMetal is it's great stuff. It's a good way to hear arrangements of some very under remixed stuff, and some stuff that's like really just something that doesn't get a whole heck of a lot of love. And they are tracks that are requested by patrons, and he runs a random chooser to decide of whatever songs, and puts a whole album together made up of nothing but listener requests. So that's what the Side Quests albums are. You can find this one over at GaMetal.bandcamp.com, along with a lot of other streaming services as well it's available on. And there's some really, really solid tracks on there. Of course, you heard the Tales of Vesperia track, starting us off there, Fury Sparks. Also got stuff from Cave Story, Paper Mario 1000 Year Battle, which I think was a request from himself. Some Fire Emblem, of course, Phantasy Star 4, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Mass Effect 2, Live Alive. Oh yes, we got some Live Alive coming. Oh, and more. Really cool. Saga 2, or Final Fantasy Legend 2 if you prefer. So like I said, some stuff that doesn't get nearly as much coverage as other things. So yeah, this is a really solid lineup, and I do recommend checking it out. GaMetal.bandcamp.com, check it out. It's name your price, so no money necessary, but I'm sure it's very much appreciated. So let's go and get into it. Some selections from GaMetal's Side Quest Volume 3. First off, I had to play this one. I had to. I love this song. It just doesn't get the recognition it deserves, but it's still good. It's still good. This is from Live Alive, the Super Famicom RPG that's pretty obscure. But the soundtrack, oh, it's hot. Oh, it's so good. This is Megalomania right here on Nitro Game Injection. driving in a Toyota. Ooh, that rhymes with yoga. Toyota car, I'll be driving. Okay, I'll stop that. Oh, Larry, I miss you. Still miss you. Yeah, I know you're not dead, but I still miss you. That was a selection of tracks from GaMetal's new album Side Quests Volume 3. If you enjoyed that, head on over to gametal.bandcamp.com and check it out. And grab the things. Grab all the things over there. Check he's got tons of stuff. All of his songs are pretty much up there, like every single one of them. So you might as well just get them all. And they're all pay what you want. So yeah, what do you got to lose other than a bunch of hard drive space? But it's worth it. Oh, it's worth it. You just heard Running Hell from Cave Story, aka Curly Brace's theme. Curly is so cool. I need to go back to play that game again, and I need to stream it maybe this time. It's such a good game. Cave Story. It's good stuff. Before that, we had Lightning Pandemonium from Rivals of Aether. And that one is particularly cool and convenient because Rivals of Aether is actually a project that my good buddy Ian Flynn is now involved in. He is writing a game and a new comic series for the Aether franchise. So, as announced actually just yesterday as of the airing of this show. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. He's writing a roguelite RPG and comic series for to expand the world of Aether. So, yeah, if you've not played Rivals of Aether, it's a sprite-based Super Smash Brothers-esque fighting game. It's really cool. It has all original characters, I believe. No, not really any crossover things going on there, but it's neat. It's very neat. So check it out. And check out Ian's projects because you should, because he's good. He's good. And starting us off there was Megalomania from Live Alive. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Megalomania. Man, Megalovania wishes it was half as good as Megalomania. I mean, really. And I say that as someone who actually enjoys Megalovania. And remixes of it, as we've heard before when I played an entire show full of them. But yeah, you can't compete with Megalomania. It's too good. It's too good. Oh well. That's gonna do it for this edition of Nitro Game Injection, by the way. I'm not going to play Toyota Disco today. I'm sorry. I would, but I have a better song to close us out. Except not really, because there really isn't a song better than Toyota Disco. But, you know, it can try. So, the song to close us out here today is from LJB0. And this one is from Doom Eternal. This is a Bardcore Witcher-style arrangement of The Only Thing They Fear Is You. And this one's nice. LJB0 does some really, really cool stuff. Really, really dig it. So, yeah, it's a very, very stark departure from the normal Doom sound. So, and then after that, something. You should stick around for it. Especially if you are like a Turtles or a Sonic fan. Or both, like me. Anyway, that's going to do it for this edition of Nitro Game Injection. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Big thanks to Nick Marinelli for coming on board for a little bit and chatting with me to talk about his video games in concert project that he's got going on. And all sorts of other fun video game music stuff. So, Thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget to also go check out patreon.com/KNGI if you're interested in supporting the show. You can also head on over to KNGI.org. That's where you can get all the archived episodes of NGI and all the other shows that are also part of the KNGI network. You can also tune in to the 24/7 live stream over there where there's a constant stream of video game music being beamed directly into your ear holes. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to be. Thanks, folks, for tuning in to Nitro Game Injection. This is the April 2nd episode. And, yeah, it's the 451st. And I'm not stopping. We're keeping it going. Except I'm going away for now. But I'll see you guys next week.
You've been listening to Nitro Game Injection,